Todd, a lot of the areas that we're supporting here at Digitalis and that funders support are often early discovery, well before there's a clear path to translation or even a product. And so how do both funders and innovators think about IP at such an early stage? What matters most when the end use or the product is still uncertain? Maybe you can help us think through what good enough means for early IP strategy.
Sure. Yeah, it's a good question, and thanks for the question. I will say that, like a lot of areas of law, IP is no different here. There's no right answer. So every time we have a different company come to us or work with a different client, their IP strategy, especially at these early stages, might be a little different. So there's not going to be a one size fits all. So there is no right answer. Unfortunately, there are a lot of wrong answers. And so what we try to do is work with companies on establishing what IP they might need early on. And this is a very broad brush type of analysis that we do. Might be something like if the company or the innovator is interested in, say, a kinase inhibitor or something along those lines, we might look informally at the art out there and at the subject matter out there to gain an understanding of what could possibly be out there. But at this point in the stage in the life cycle, it's very informal. And the reason it has to be informal is because being early on, you're going to have to be very flexible and you're going to have to be very nimble. You will pivot a lot from your initial path. It's just the way it is in innovation. So spending a ton of money on formal IP analysis probably doesn't make a lot of sense in the early stages. But at the same time, informing your IP attorney or your in-house counsel about what your plans are and what you want to do is very, very valuable because they can provide some insights as well. Not only is it just a space clearance, if you will, but also maybe provide some insight on who the major players are, who the companies are, perhaps who the universities are that might have some licensing opportunities down the line available for you. So the earlier you can get in the intel for some of the technology, the better. But again, I don't think it's a good idea necessarily or an efficient use of money for a formal analysis at this point because you don't have a commercial product and you need a commercial product to really truly clear it at this point. It's just broad brushes at that point.
Thank you. I think that's pragmatic advice. We sometimes get requests for things like freedom to operate analyses and really extensive work early on. And I think the conservative, pragmatic approach that you laid out makes a lot of sense.